So let me give it another 3 minutes.
Losing clients whose accounts are down go into one liquidity bucket, and all the guys who make money go into another liquidity bucket. The guy who loses money comes on, presses the button, they provide the liquidity automatically, instant, take the other side. They could, if they want, hedge it. They could go into the market, the real physical market, and purchase the physical underlying asset. So then the brokers short the contract and they buy the underlying asset. But they don't. They stay short the contract. Retail trader loses, comes back, sells the contract back to the broker. Broker buys, closes out the position. Retail traders closed out, brokers closed out. Broker makes money, takes the difference out of the account. What have they made on that trade? They've made every revenue stream: spread, com, financing, and OTC gain. And literally, it's all automatic. It's automated software. It happens in a second. So the hedge, if they choose to put it on, will happen automatically down the pipe through the investment bank. It's just a two-way pipe. Now, what happens if it's a guy who makes money? Well, the guy trades, buys the contract on the platform, broker shorts, automatically hedges by buying the underlying asset. The guy makes money, comes back, sells the contract, broker pays the difference into the account after unwinding the hedge. Has the broker lost money? No. So what's the broker made? They've made spread, commission, and financing term. So they haven't made the OTC gain. What else has happened though? What else has happened in that trade? Look at the green bar. They've hedged. They need money to hedge. Winning clients are annoying for two reasons to the broker. One, because the OTC gain is eliminated, so they only make money on 3 revenue streams. But 2, they have to commit twice as much capital relative to a losing trader because they have to hedge. So winning guys cannibalize the broker's capital. So they're annoying. Losing traders are fantastic because they get the 4 revenue streams and they use X capital to trade with that client. Winning traders are annoying because they make less money and commit twice as much capital, 2X.
Yeah.
So remember this trend over the last 30 years, the monopoly duopoly situation? Where's the credit coming from? It's coming from the investment banks. This is the value chain or supply chain of liquidity in the trading and portfolio management industry. Who owns the narrative? What's the perfect retail broker to lend money to? One that peddles the narrative. Why? Because the investment bank can lend and make money out of it forever. So it's starting to add up. There's a monopoly duopoly situation with exchanges and investment banks. Who are the biggest clients of exchanges? Investment banks. More on this later. But smart money and dumb money. This is why we labeled smart money on the professional side, investment banks, prop desks, dumb money on the right-hand side as the retail traders. Smart money understand how the financial markets work. They understand conflict of interest. It's professional trading 101. It's the stuff you get taught in your first couple of months at Goldman Sachs or any firm. That's good. They avoid trading in the way that other participants in the market who have conflict of interest want them to. They avoid it. And they do everything in the opposite way to the way retail traders do it. What do dumb money do? Believe everything they're told and rely on the infrastructure provided to them by financial market participants with conflict of interest. Believe that the infrastructure has been built for their benefit when it's actually being built for the opposite purpose. They trade in the way that they're told to trade, and they do everything in the opposite way to the way professional traders do it. But there's a catch. We talked about it earlier with the non-farm payrolls example. That's very typical. Smart money requires dumb money to exist. Who's supplying the credit facility? The investment banks. Who's the perfect broker? The one that peddles the narrative. Who's the perfect client? The client that believes the narrative. And it creates the negative feedback loop, and the professional traders win. We can also add hedge funds and pension funds into here. So in the gray box on the left, hedge funds are smart money. They're basically exactly the same as investment bank prop traders. Pension funds are slow money. They're investing over a long time. But the key here is they are the market participants that are on the professional side, and they are the biggest clients of investment banks. And combined, investment banks, hedge funds, and pension funds are the biggest payers of exchange fees on the planet. And two companies own 90% of the order flow on all exchanges in the world. It's a monopoly. So what you're looking at, ladies and gentlemen, on the left-hand side is Wall Street. And if you don't think they all work together, you've got your head up your ass. There's not many of them. 6 or 8 investment banks control 90% of the volume. And everything on the right is dumb money and the inversion narrative. So everything we've discussed regarding the structure of the industry outside the US actually applies in the US too. But the CFDs were banned in the US in 2010. So what's happened since? Retail traders have been moving more towards trading options in the US. So they obtain their leverage through essentially implied leverage or implied volatility through trading options. If you wanted to actually trade normal physical assets in the US, the margin requirement is pretty high. So you don't get much leverage. You'd have to, it would be 33 to 50% margin requirement overnight. So 2 to 3 times leverage. And why do you think it's restricted in that way? They banned CFDs and that replaced it. And then everyone's going for options to get leverage. Index, Forex, and commodity futures, there's lower margin requirements, but the tradable set is pretty small, as in your amount of opportunities to make money because of the amount of contracts or assets you can trade is very low. So it's about 60 contracts, typically on a retail brokerage platform. And that compares to potentially 42,000 stocks. So your tradable universe is really small. And this is why options contracts have become very popular in the US, because retail traders can deposit less margin and get potentially much higher return if they make money through trading the option.
Okay. All
And
right.
this is obviously a
I'm gonna
totally
go ahead
separate
and
class
get
in terms of
started.
options, but
Yesterday's trade. Sure.
Cory, you explained yesterday also. 1 minute. So, but I just want to understand on means because that was my sale point also, but I was not able to make that decision. Should I jump in or not? And same time you did. So, what made you to take that decision?
Okay. All right. Hang on. So we're gonna go over today's trade first. We took a buy here. It pushed down, closed out here, and then tried to sell here and here. Today was kind of a up and down day. This is probably the worst day I done had trading in a while. I'm not even gonna lie. I probably shouldn't have traded today, and I probably shouldn't have got us in any trades today because I really wasn't feeling great today. And I didn't really get what I needed to analyze the charts, and I'm not making no excuses, but you know, that is what happened today. So try to buy here. This was a stop. We let it come down to here. Try to buy one more time. You can see that it took us out. the buy was the move. We had this should have been the signal right here. We had a rebalance to the upside.
You were muted and I didn't listen. Are you replying to me?
Huh?
Are you replying to me? My question?
No, I'm just talking about the trade from today right now.
Okay. Sorry if I disturbed.
Yeah. So right here, this was the signal that we should have been buying right here. We had a rebalance right here, and we held the daily, and we had a entry.
Sunday night, we going to stop. Yeah. No, what about a big top? Because when I see the level,
Sorry about that. We had this rebalance, redelivery. We had the down wick. We saw that it wasn't breaking any lower. And then we had this wick fail, and then we had this bullish engulfing that traded through it. Even had the price come back to the fair value gap, and it traded back into it again, and it gave us another opportunity there. But I was too one-sided on this to see these opportunities right here, because it filled the range, it stayed in there and held it down here. That would have been another buy opportunity. So then the last chance was up here, and this just wicked us out as soon as 2 o'clock hit. So, and we just went sideways. So that's pretty much what happened today. You know, my bad on today. Just was not seeing things the way I should have, but it's okay. I usually, usually I can get us out of the trades too, but even today I couldn't even get us out of the trades profitable. So sometimes that's the case. Just got to keep that happening less often than it does. So cool beans. So that's what was today. Moving forward though, we are kind of ranging pretty much ever since we made this little move down from this high to this low. We've been ranging below this order block right here. It's sitting right here. We've been ranging right below that. And then we also, between this high and this low, sitting right at the middle of the week. Like this is the middle range of price this week. And we're pretty much sitting right below that. So we are still at a chance where we could go either direction, but because we're in a discounted area, we need to really consider buys at this point. So we are at the 70, near the 70, still near the 50 over here. And I just want to see if we can come down one more time to take the buy. That's what I'll be looking for overall. So that will answer that question about today. Then I'll go ahead and go into the questions. Let me see. What application do I use to copy my trades? It is this. It's local trade copier. It's about $17 a month. And it'll allow you to set up parameters on your account that, you know, you can copy the trades based off of your account size, so you can trade different accounts and still take the proper risk and lot size based off the account. There's a lot of videos on it too, so you know you can do the written steps right here and go through it. Then there's a bunch of videos and support on this, you know, how to customize lot sizes, how to trade accounts that have different symbols. And you know, that's kind of stuff, you know, is something that I can walk you guys through, but I don't want to just do it until you guys have purchased it already. So because it's kind of long and tedious process. But once you set it up, you can save it, and you know, you don't have to do it over and over again. But the pricing's here. You can bill monthly or annually. You know, the monthly is a little more expensive, of course, for the annually versus the annually. This is in euro. And then, you know, you just go forward from there. There are a couple things that you would need to be accountable for if you have trades like that don't go through. There's some things I'll have to show you guys, but like if you ever want to get it, just let me know. And if enough people go ahead and get it, I'll do a session on how to set it all up, so that way you guys can get it set up properly. So that's the one I use. And for me, the good thing about this one is on your computer, you can manage as many accounts as you want. Unlimited amount, right? You can have one server and as many clients. So what I do is I have my main account that I trade out of, and then I have a bunch of accounts attached to it. My FTMO accounts, my funding talent accounts, my live accounts, any demo accounts like that I'm just testing out stuff on, or I just want to have open. And eventually, you know, once I decide, you know, hey, I might want to manage some other people's accounts, I'll be able to add those into here as well. So, you know, it's pretty easy to set up once you've done it the right way one time. So that's pretty much it on that. Brian asked about fixed range volume. I have not heard of that, but let's see what that is. Fixed range.
It's under the volume profile.
Under the volume profile. This one?
Yeah. No, it's well, I don't even see it under yours. Under volume profile, it's under there, but it's called fixed range.
Which one?
Hold on, let me look on mine real quick. I'm looking at yours. And it messed me up.
I think it was number 4.
Under mine, you know how you have the indicators? Go back up to where your indicators are. Yeah, if I go under volume profile, it shows up under mine under fixed. Unless I don't know why it don't show up right there. Yeah. And so I guess all you do is draw it from like if you were going to do a, like if you were doing the Fibonacci, you kind of draw it that way, I think. So you would take it from maybe like the high to the low, but I was just wondering if you've ever used it.
Haven't.
So for example, I think if we draw it from that high all the way to the low, then it probably acts as the same thing as the Fibonacci in a sense, but.
Okay. It's you can use it the same way.
Okay, this one probably just doesn't shift because I know the session volume, it moves, right?
Yeah, it follows.
Okay.
And this just giving you that fixed range, right? Like you might want to just know what's going on in this area. So that's what this looks like. So this just giving you the option to basically take only this given range. That's what that looks like. And the session volume only calculates for that session. So, you know, it's only looking at that day where we are. So if I looked at from here to here, this should be the same as here. Yep, you see? Pretty much the same. Just off of just about a little bit, you know, but it's the same, you know. And just basically what it's doing is just telling you where, you know, for you guys that don't know, it's just telling you where the highest number of orders have been entered for that particular range, right? So our range, let's say from this high to this low, right? And this red line indicates that during this time frame between this high and this low, the majority of the orders were entered right here at this price level. And if you zoom in, I don't know if it's going to do it on here. No, it's not going to do it. Hang on one second. Okay, yeah. It's not going to show it, but normally you can actually see the numbers if you use the session volume. But this is cool because, you know, maybe you don't want to have all of that on the chart. Maybe you want to see, you know, for that particular move, right? That this would actually be a good tool. So like maybe we want to just see what's going on here, right? For this move or just for this move, we want to see like where is the majority. This would be a good tool to use. So yeah, that's cool. I would sign off on this. I would sign off on it because it's really the same as the session volume. So yep. Somebody asked about that answer your question though, Brian?
Yeah, it did. I'm gonna just play around with it and try it. I mean, it's probably like you said, it's probably the same as the volume in a sense, but I'm gonna try it out a little bit and see how I can use it. And if it, you know, like where the orders are coming in heavy, if you know, price will tend to come back to those areas for maybe to take a reversal or like a bounce off of support or resistance.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Okay. All right. And Keisha wants to know about trailing partials, and Anna wants to know about trailing stop. So what I'll do is I'll combine those. And right now, I am going to share my broker stupid funded talent account. You can use that. So give me a second.
Cory, you missed my question.
What's that?
I need help with MT4 too, because Brian showed me how to do it, but I can't find the account. So I need to share my screen so you can help me find it.
Yeah, I didn't miss that question. I just haven't gotten to it yet. Did I?
Okay.
Okay. Well, I can show you that at the same time as this too. Um, all right. Okay. So the first thing I think that Chrissy was asking about was how do you set up your account? You're gonna after you install MetaTrader, you're gonna open your account, and then you're gonna search for your broker. And if you don't have it, you can just scroll down here and type the broker info in. It's gonna give you the broker information, and whatever that is, you need to type it in here. Once you type it in there, it's gonna bring you to a login screen. And at that login screen, you'll put that information for your broker into the window, and it'll go ahead and log you in. That's pretty much it. Got it? Chrissy?
Sorry, my computer kind of tried to lock me out. Wait, I was opening it. Okay, no, here's the problem I'm having. So I don't know what my computer doing is tripping right now. I opened the Crypto Rocket one, right? And I added it to there. But how do you because it's only showing me, it's not showing funded talent at the top right there on your screen. It's saying Crypto Rocket. So how do you switch?
You, like I said, you have to go to file, open an account, scroll down to the bottom, and then in this area right here, you can type in your broker information, the server.
Okay. Now I did. Oh, now it came up. Okay, wait. Now it came up. Before it was only coming up as Crypto Rocket. It was still showing, because I did that today with Brian, but for some reason the MT4 was still coming up as Crypto Rocket, and whatever just happened, it finally opened as FTMO. It didn't open as Crypto Rocket this time. So I'm saying, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Okay, so I think it's working. I think.
Okay. All right. So let's look at just gonna open up let's see, Bitcoin, right? That's always moving.
Before you continue, you know that navigator window? Because you're supposed to see every account that you have under that navigator, right?
Yeah.
Like every broker.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what I think I was looking for. Okay.
Yeah, you're supposed to. So let me do something real quick. I don't want to use this account. I was going to, but I need to open up a position big enough to take some partials. So I need to open up a demo account right quick. Let me see who has a quick one I can do. Let's go Hugo's way. All right. So into this right quick. All right, so check my email. Just give me 1 second, guys. I'm just gonna set up this little demo account right quick. All right. So let me also do one other thing. Disconnect this. This is what the copier looks like right here. And now I'm about to disconnect it, so it's not accepting trades right now, right? And I got the demo account. So this is actually the same thing you'll need to look at too, Chrissy. So we're gonna go to file, go to open. Should already have Hugo's in here somewhere. So let's go Hugo's demo. Click next. And copy the server and the email, the password. See over here, this pop up right here. And now it's connected right here. All that good stuff. And you can see my account, right? So let's go to Bitcoin right quick. If we don't, we probably won't have it available. So we're gonna need to go to, if you don't have the symbols available, you'll need to go to view, symbols, look for what you want. We want crypto, BTC, USD. Right here. And I'm just gonna add the rest of them, like indices and stuff like that too. So US 30, UK, SP, NAS, Kiwi, the Nikki, 30, Frank. I want to add gold, metals. So I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna add silver. I'm gonna add gold. I want to add oil. That's right here. Any cross pairs that I might not have, I want to have GA, GN, NCAD, GCAD, exotics, who I want. Nobody special, but I will add you. USD ZAR, US mix, add you too. And then we'll check the majors. All of those should be there. Okay, cool. So we got all the symbols that we want to have. We'll just close that out. And we said we want to open up Bitcoin here. right? So we got Bitcoin open. We're gonna take a trade on Bitcoin. I'm gonna change the background so I can see it a little better. And let's take a buy. I don't care what's going on, right? Whew. All right, so we buying, right? We buying Bitcoin. And let's say we got a stop loss right here. We got a target up here. Right? That's our trade, right? Now, there were two questions. There was how do we take a partial and how do we trail, right? So when we are going to trail, one thing we got to be in profit. So I won't be able to show you until we go into profit as to how we trail, but I'll eventually hopefully show you that. But if you want to take a partial out of this, there's two ways you can do this. If you're on your phone, you'll need to, when you hit close, before you actually close it out, you'll see at the top of your screen, you'll see the lot size. Let me see if I can tether this from my phone and I can show you. Okay. I'll tether this from my phone so you can see it. So right now, you can see my computer and you can also see my phone. AirPlay, cable. Let's see if we can see it. Can you see my phone right now?
No.
What is it sharing?
Your screen, laptop screen.
Still my laptop screen.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Open folder. How about now?
Same.
Same. Okay. Let me see. What about here? I'll do it here. All right. So this is that same account, right? Now you guys can see it, right?
Yeah, I can see.
Yes.
Okay. So you're going to need to open up this trade. You'll see all your info. You can hold down on it from a Mac. I mean, for my iPhone, you can just hold it and it'll give you these options: close, modified, trade chart. All right. So you're going to hit close. And then before you close it, you'll notice that there's this lot size right here. If I change this to a different value, right? Let's say we want to take a quarter of that off. you'll see that whatever the close amount is changes right here. So now instead of closing the whole thing, we're only going to close out 0.25, or now we're showing 0.2, right? Or now we want to close out 3, right? However we want to do that, right? We have the option to. I'm gonna go ahead and come over here real quick in my other screen. I'm gonna throw a sale in there too, just so we can see if we can get some profit off of this. Go into profit on one of these at some point, right? Okay. So I'm waiting on one of those to go into profit, right? Or let's say we want to close out 0.7. This will close out only that piece of the trade. And you can see that for the buy we had, it's still open, right? For the buy, and we didn't close out all of it. We just closed out that 7, 0.7, right? Somebody calling me. So we only closed out that 0.7, but we left a 0.3 still open, right? Yeah. This is just for demo purposes. This is not how I would actually trade Bitcoin. I just wanted to show you, the lot sizes and how to take partials. So from the computer, right, you're going to take the same approach. Right? So this is our buy, this is our sell, right? Our buy, our sell right here. So we're going to go to the sell. And when you want to take a partial, you can't just close it over here. You have to actually click on the size, and then you'll have to update the volume, right? So you won't be able to do this anywhere else, right? So see how if we click over here, the volume's grayed out. Click on over here. We can change the volume. So you can click on the profit, or you can click on the size, and the volume won't be grayed out. And that's what you want to see, right? If the volume's grayed out, you won't be able to change it. So in this case, we're going to do the same thing. We want to take a partial on this. Let's take a partial on the buy, right? Let's take another partial on the buy. So we're going to just double click on this. Let's take half of this buyout. We got the lot size is a 0.3. So we're going to take half of that out, and then we're going to close that. And all we got left in the buy is a 0.15, right? In the sell, we still got the whole lot, right? But we're not in profit yet, so can't adjust a trailing stop, right? But hopefully we can get into some profit, right? But to set your trailing stop, so you can only do this from the computer, and you can double click or right click on this, and you're going to set your trailing stop, and you're going to come to custom. You're never going to use these default numbers. Never use the default numbers. Always going to use the custom numbers, right? Because you have to understand how your pair is moving and what is the pip count for your pair, right? So let's say you want to go from this sell to this high, right? Look at that middle number. That middle number is the number of pips you're going to be setting your trailing stop to be, or whatever the case is, right? Or let's just say you wanted to sell till you got to here. So in this case, your trailing stop is going to be 109, right? So if we go into custom, and we wanted to move our stops at break even. At what point we needed to put 52109. That's going to be how we annotate that. And as soon as it gets to that point where we were 52019, right around here, the stop loss that we have here is going to automatically move down to the entry. And then every pip that it goes after that is going to follow it until it's not moving down any further. That's in general, that's how the trailing stop works. If you take a partial at any point, you'll need to readjust your trailing stop because that trailing stop is only associated to the original order. Once you take a partial, you'll have to update the trailing stop. I have a video on that. If you give me a second, I can I go over it way in detail, do a bunch of examples that I can give you as to how you would do that. That's cool?
Just one thing. When it will go back?
Go back?
Yeah, when it will go back means when it will stop you out in plus positive.
When will it go? When will it stop following?
Stop me in positive means when suppose this is going 10 pip up, right? So I am in plus and if it is going back and it came 8 pip down, so still I am 2 pip up, right? So still I am in plus or not?
It doesn't trigger until you turn positive. You have to go, like if you use a 50 pip stop loss, the trailing stop won't trigger until you have 50 pips of profit. If it doesn't, if you never go 50 pips in profit, your stop loss is just going to be wherever you initially put your stop loss.
And suppose if it goes like 100 pip, right? So
If
now my stop loss will be at 50, right?
Right. If you go 100 pips in profit and you have a 50 pips trailing stop, your stop loss is going to be at 50 pips in profit.
And suppose if it was 100, right? Now it is coming back. So it came like 70. So my stop loss is now at 50 and
Still at 50.
I'm at 50, right?
Yeah, like if it went 100 pips in profit and then after the 100 pips, it came back down and you were only down 70 pips, only up 70 pips, your stop loss didn't move again.
Didn't move, right?
It won't move. Nope. It won't move.
I don't know what is happening. Means I don't understand that calculation because I'm using that trailing stop loss since few days. So every time doesn't matter. This is 150 point up or 100 point. It was always 100 pip, 120 and 150, right? But I am just getting out means approximately at breaking even.
That means that it only went however much you set your stop loss to.
Okay, for SPX, what do you put? What is the number?
You for SPX, yeah, that's a, you have to let me send you this video too. So I found the video, and this is the video.
When I see, I understand everything. When I get stopped out and I want to understand why it happened, because again my trade is in positive like 300 400 and I got stopped out on just breaking even, right? So this is painful.
Yeah, I'll show you. So in most cases, In most cases for your SPX trades, right? Let's go to it. Can even put a trade in for another 3 minutes, but let's pull it up. If you're ever confused, right? Just grab this little tool, right?
Yeah.
Measure this, right? So from here to here, 76.3 pips. And I'm getting that from that middle number you see.
Okay.
That's 76.3 pips, right? If I want to go 100 pips down, that's roughly around here, right? That's 101.8 pips, right?
Yeah.
So when you take your trailing stop, that's the number you need to put in for your trade, right? So I can't put it in right now, but nah, because it's not open. It's not open yet. Yeah, it's not open yet, but that's the number you want to pay attention to. When you put in your SPX trade, you're gonna come trailing stop, and let's say you want to do the 50 pip, 50 pip trailing stop on SPX would be 500 points over here.
Okay.
100 pips would be 1,000 points.
Okay.
Anything that you do, like if you came in and you just selected trailing stop and you selected one of these, you're gonna always get taken out at break even.
Yeah. No, I'm doing that custom. Sometime I put 100, one time I put 150. I think that is too less, right? Because
You just did like this 150.
Yeah.
Yeah, that means that is essential to saying that's the equivalent of saying 15 points, pips.
Okay.
That's the equivalent of saying 15 pips. And this is the equivalent of saying 10 pips.
Okay.
When you want to use 100,
Mm-hmm.
you need to say 1,000 here.
Oh, I think this was the mistake.
When you want to use a 50 pip, you need to say 500 here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you'll make up for that.
Yeah, I think this was the mistake because I was trying to calculate. I was doing so many calculations. How does it work? How, what is my mistake?
Yep.
But again and again, same thing. And I did so many trades for this.
Yeah. And you want to check each time you go to a different pair. So like from here to here, this is 58.83 pips. But so now I know, all right, if I want to go 50 pips, I need to use 5,000 because that's how it's measuring it, right? If I want to go 100, I need to go 10,000, right?
Okay.
So if I want to put in a trailing stop on this of 50 pips, I need to put in this.
5,000.
If I want to do 100 pips, I need to do this.
Okay.
Because you just got to see, like, okay, here to here, that's about 50 pips, right? And here to here, about 60, 50 pips right here. And then if I wanted to go sell it, 100 pips would be right around here. This is the equivalent of 105.48 pips. Looking at the middle number.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Good.
Cool. Okay, cool beans. All right. So okay, 602 just hit, right? So here, let's say buy. Oh, still not ready. Okay, cool. Still not ready to buy it. Still ain't open yet. Still ain't open. We'll come back to that, right? So let's look at the other questions.
So Cory, just quick question on this. So the stop loss, if it's 50 pips, it will be moving on every 50 pips if you set it up that way.
Yep.
Even one pip, if you move even one pip, it will go. Like for example, if you set it up every 50 pips and you are 105 pips, so it will go. Your next stop will be on 100.
No, let's say if you go 105 pips in profit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your stop loss, your trailing stop is 50 pips, right?
Yeah.
The first thing that's going to happen is once you go 50 pips into profit, the stop loss is going to move from wherever it was to break even.
Right.
Then after that, every pip after 50 pips, you go into profit. The trailing stop is going to move one pip into profit.
Oh, okay.
So after 50 pips of profit, if you go 52 pips in the profit, your trailing stop is going to be 2 pips in profit. After you go 60 pips in profit, your trailing stop is going to be 10 pips in profit because you went 10 pips above 50 into profit.
Gotcha. So if it stopped me, it will stop me on 60 pips.
If it stops you out,
yeah.
if you get stopped out, you'll get stopped out 10 pips in profit.
10 pips in profit?
Yep.
Not 60 pips in
Not
profit?
60 pips. No.
Okay.
Because
you were in, I was in break even.
Yep, you were at break even.
Okay.
If you move 100 pips in profit with a 50 pip trailing stop, your trailing stop is going to be 50 pips in profit.
Okay.
Right? And if you, like the example Anna gave, if you were to go back down 70 pips, right? Your trailing stop is not like, so you, let's say you went 100 pips in profit, your stop loss went to 50 pips in the profit, but then you retraced and you retraced about 30 pips and you got to 70 pips only in profit, right?
Right.
Your trailing stop is still going to be at 50 pips. It's not going to move no more because you didn't go anything past 100.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now,
but if you're in profits and you want to change it from 50 pips, you can do that, right?
you can do it, and you can move it, adjust it, and just let's say, and I wish it was moving right now. I can just show you better than I can tell you. All right, so we're just going to use this example, right? 2 pips, right? All it's got to do is go 2 pips in the profit. Okay, so this has got to go 2 pips. So now we already down to, so I'm gonna just throw something else in there, right? One of these is gonna go 2 pips in the profit. So I come to trailing stop, 2 pips in the profit. That's what this represents, right?
Yeah.
My stop loss already moving, right? Now that it's moving already, I can already see, all right, let me move it away. All right. I don't want it to go to break even just yet, right? But you see it's just following it, right? It's following it. I can just move it. Now, let's adjust the stop loss. Let's do 5 pips. But it took me out, right?
Because it's small.
That's
Yeah.
how I was going to do it.
Mm,
That's exactly how I was going to do. That's how I was going to take it.
Gotcha. Thank you.
No problem. It's just going to, you know, it's like as soon as we went 2 pips in profit, because our stop loss with a trailing stop was 2 pips, it just automatically followed it. And we were automatically in profit. Our trailing stop followed us up. And notice how I was just dragging it, you know, just dragging it like, okay, here's my original stop loss right here. That's the original stop loss. It's not going to break even. Let's say we're going to use, let's use 10 pips. I'm not going to do anything until this says 100, right? Because that's 10 pips over here, right? And as soon as it goes, then my stop loss is going to automatically move from right here to up here at break even because we bought.
So I saw you drag it and then you changed it, or once you drag it, that's it automatically will be changed.
Yeah, once it's in profit, you can drag it, move it around however you want to.
But
Once,
if you move it, will adjust whatever you moved it
if
to,
you
right?
move it and you keep going in profit, it's gonna still move. If you move it, let's say you move it and you go into profit more, it's just gonna automatically start trailing still.
Okay.
And the only way you can stop it is you cancel it right here, just delete it, or you can just change it to be a bigger number.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I got it. Thank you so much.
unfortunately, Brian, there's no way to trail from your phone. That's why I always tell people I hate trading from the phone because you can't do everything that you can do. Like I don't even like the fact that I can't like drag and drop. Like if I want to move my take profit, I can't just drag and drop it. You know, it just did it again, right? It just did it again. I didn't mean to do that. But if I get in the trade, right? Bam, I'm in the trade, right? From your phone, you have to say, oh, what's the number that I want my trailing stop? From your computer, you can just say, oh, I want my trailing stop right here. Oh, I want my take profit right there. Done. Oh, okay, I want a trailing stop right here. I want to do this amount, right?
So Cory, you can do it. You just have to know the numbers.
You got to know the numbers, but if you're putting in a trade and you're trying to put in like multiple positions, like how quick are you going to be able to do that from your phone? It's a little tedious, you know what I'm saying? It's not even a little, it's a lot tedious compared to I want to put my stop loss right here. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't care what the number is, you know. I don't care. I just know that I want my stop loss right here, you know, underneath here, you know. And if you're doing things really fast, right? Wouldn't you rather be able to just say, do this and do this, you know, do this for your trailing stop, do that for your take profit, stop loss, real like 2 clicks, you know, versus going in your phone, checking the numbers, looking at the numbers, and then trying to put them into the phone or computer, you know, I mean, into the phone. By then, it's a chance you could have missed the entry or got stopped out of the trade by mistake, you know. So it's a little more bulky.
You know, like for people who mostly have their phones with them and not their laptops, like on the go, I think those are the people who, may have to do trailing stops from their cell phones.
You can't. You can't do trailing stops from your phone. You can only do trailing, your trailing stops are only available on the computer.
Okay.
You would have to manage the trail manually, whereas you would be going in and out of the phone to change it yourself. So that's why I always preach to people to get used to using the computer and just download the app for it.
And do you use only a laptop and not a desktop?
That doesn't matter. Laptop or desktop is okay. Especially if you're trying to scale into positions and putting in multiple positions at a time, like you can't do that from the phone. And if you do, you're not going to be able to manage them all properly, versus this, man, so yeah, that's right, Rob. People scaling like 8 to 15 orders on the cell phone, dang, that's a lot of work. It is when the market is moving so violent, closing 2 or 3 trades in 1 second, Yep. And
how about if I open the browser on my phone and I'm trading from the browser on the phone?
Nope.
Dang.
Nope. Nope. You got it. You need this.
I've been thinking about buying a laptop, which I don't like. I have a desktop.
That's okay.
Since I have an iPhone, I'm wondering should I buy an iPad or
the
no?
iPad, the MT4 app on the iPad is just this. It's the same thing as on the phone.
Oh yes.
Yeah, and the desktop you have is fine. You can still download this and run it on your computer. So you're absolutely fine. It's just you guys with these cell phones and trying to trade on. Like, I will be honest, I will trade from my phone, but there are some stipulations to that. I'm probably not going to be using a big lot size. I am probably only going to be managing a trade that I got in from on my computer that I'm still in. I'm only going to manage it from that point. But in most cases, I'm not going to be sitting over here on the session with y'all trying to give out some trades and I'm looking at my phone. If I'm doing that, don't take my trade. Don't take my trade. If I'm doing that, just say, oh, okay, that's some good info. This is a good learning session. But
so Cory, do you have a small laptop that you take with you everywhere or just a regular size?
My laptop lives with me.
Is it a small size or the regular size?
It's a MacBook Pro 16-inch.
Yeah, so that's
it lives with me. Like I don't go anywhere without my laptop. And if I'm traveling, I got 2 monitors that I travel with.
2 monitors?
Wow. You're taking the monitors with you?
Goodness.
They're portable monitors.
How big is your monitors?
You have to show us, Cory.
Yeah, I'll show you. Hold on. Let me go grab them.
If you can show us how to set up, like, what do we need to?
Yeah, hang on.
He has an iMac. He has an iMac, so he has an iPhone. That's the most expensive one.
Just hang on.
I don't know. That sounds very bulky, like to have to carry all that stuff with you.
Nah, it's not.
Okay.
It's not. Um,
Put it in a backpack.
yeah, I'm gonna show you. Hold on.
Remember that time somebody showed Cory in the airport on his computer?
Mhm.
I do remember that.
Uh-huh. He was in there. Somebody, who did that? What's the name that was be with Cory all the time?
Calvin.
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 Yep.
Yeah, I did find that odd though, Cory. I was like, this man is walking through the airport with a laptop, just
Mhm.
randomly.
Yep. That's how you gotta do it. Okay. So let me mute my computer. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, just a little echo.
Okay. All right. Can you see me?
Yes.
Yes, very clear. Hmm.
Okay. All right. So this, how can I switch? This is my setup right here.
Okay.
So you have two.
This is
Okay.
the home setup right here. With, I don't know what you can see.
Yeah,
Everything.
you can see the desk.
The room.
Okay. So that trash team. Hey, we got a championship though.
We got a few too.
Don't worry. We good though.
Wait, isn't that your only championship in any sport?
No, it's just the
Oh.
only one we had in quite some time.
20 years. Okay.
Yeah. And so this is I'll usually have you guys on this one. I'm trading off of this one. And I'm watching stuff on my laptop. And then
What
when
do
I'm
you call
traveling,
this screen?
huh?
What do you call this screen? This double screen?
Yeah, dual monitor.
On this one.
Okay, dual monitor.
When I travel,
Does it
these
come with
monitors-
the stand, Cory? Does it stand
come-
on the desk?
No, I bought that separate. When I travel, I have two of these portable monitors right here.
Oh, so they're not bulky at all.
It's like they the same size as like a tablet.
Where did you bought it from? Can you share some links with us, please?
I got it on Amazon.
Okay.
So, but where do you set up at? Just in your hotel room, or a cafe, or?
Yep.
Okay.
Anywhere, really, as long as I got power.
I mean, it's a conversation starter. I know that.
Yeah. You are telling the truth.
I would be staring at a person really odd.
And where did you got this stand?
The stand, same thing, Amazon.
Okay. Monitor also? Your monitor?
I'm switching back. Yeah, so same thing. I got it from off of Amazon. The stand, the monitors, the portable monitors, the monitors I'm using that are on my stands, those were going away gifts from my job that I decided to give myself after they laid me off.
You're merciful. You are your brother's brother, man.
They were going away gifts that I decided to give myself since they laid me off. So I just, whatever to them.
So Cory, What do you use Wi-Fi when you travel, or you use your phone, internet?
I'll use my phone, and I also have a Wi-Fi adapter that
Mm.
that I can just drop a SIM card in, and I can get Wi-Fi.
That's what I thought. You're an IT background, so you wouldn't do that.
Exactly. But if it's just like an emergency, usually my phone works pretty fine. But
Phone is
like,
more secured than the laptop Wi-Fi, you know?
yeah.
Cory,
So
do you
how
use
long
a
did it take?
VPN? I'm sorry.
If I'm traveling overseas, yes, I have a VPN. Express VPN is the one that I use.
Express.
Yep, Express VPN. And they of course it's like $9, $12 a month for a month. But I use them because for one, you can like I like how all the like they have a lot of different locations you can set. And I just been using them for a long time. So yeah.
So how long did it take you to adjust from just looking at one screen to looking at multiple screens?
You have to really, after you've been trading for a while, you're not gonna want to do one screen, especially if I'm like trying to trade with you guys at the same time and do all this stuff. You gotta have more than one screen.
Good.
Okay, so Brian and had a question about FTMO. Is there any particular strategy you've used to pass the challenge? So what I do is the biggest thing about passing the strategy passing the challenge is your lot sizes. It don't matter what strategy you use, you can pass the challenge. It's about managing your risk more than it is about a strategy that you'll need to pass the trade, because you can use break and retest, you can use smart money, you can use scalping, you can use the climb the tree strategy. If you don't manage your risk properly, then you won't pass the challenge. So what I keep telling everybody is to, like, you can trade, of course, like we have we using a Hugo's Way demo account, right? So let's go over to this screen. Let's look at it from here, right? And because we trade SPX all the time, let me use that as an example. Right? So you need 100 pips. No, you need to make, I'm gonna use the 100K challenge, right? And then your max daily is 5,000. Your max monthly or total max loss is 10,000. And then your profit target is 10,000. Right? You can trade with, like if you're trading SPX, this is 5% of your account. So your lot size is
Cory, what is 5,000, 10,000? What is those numbers?
okay. Max daily,
Okay, yeah.
max limit loss, profit target. All right. So this is actually would be, if you took on, this is traded SPX, right? 50 lots is the equivalent of 5% of your account size, right? Meaning I can trade comfortably with 50 lots. but you don't want to risk more than a 10 lot, because let's say you go down and draw down 100 pips on this lot. Go down 100 pips on this lot, you're down 5 racks already. And you've already violated this rule right here. You go down 100 pips on this lot, you're down $1,000, right? You haven't violated any rules, but what you've done is you've said that I can only do this 4 more times before I violate this rule, right? Or if I do this 1,000 too many times, I'll violate this rule, right? Now, this is cumulative, right? So the max daily doesn't necessarily count against you if you don't go against that number again, right? So if you go down 1,000 one day and you only go down $999 the next day, the max daily is still going to be 1,000. You won't get an increase to your max daily until you go over the $1,000. So one day your max is 15 as 1,000. The next day you go down $999. The third day you go down $1,500. Your max daily is $1,500. And you'll need to make sure that you don't go down any drawdown more than $1,500 for the rest of the time, right? But the way I think that everybody should trade this is take this 10 lot and break it into 4. So that means now you'd be using 0.5, 0.25, right? If you go down 100 pips, that means you're only down $250, right? Are you anywhere close to this number or this number? No, right? So even you can go down really on a trade, you can go down 500 pips before you're even at $1,000, right? But here's the thing though. If you go up 500 pips, you're at $1,000, right? And that sounds simple, right? But how many times do we get in trades and we up 500 pips? How many times? How many times I've given out trade that we've gone 1,000 pips? Right?
Yeah.
How many times like do I give out trades that go 500, 200 pips, right? And doing that, you can do better risk reward, right? And if you like the trade, guess what you can do? You can say, all right, cool. I'm gonna add another 2.5, 2.5, right? That one, this one went, let's say this one went 200 pips, right? So that means that this trade is $500 in profit. I got this one in around 150, right? So that means this one is about 325 in profit, something like that, give or take. It was 250 plus 50 pips, so that'll be 300. This one 300 pips in profit. Then I want to add another one right around 50 pips. So this one gave me $125 in profit. Now, if I lost the first trade, right, by 100 pips, right, I only lost $250. But if I do this right and I got everything set up properly, out of this trade, I would have made $925. And I never over leveraged at all. And I confirmed with the original trade that I was in the right direction, right? And if I was in the wrong direction and I didn't like the trade, and maybe I did add on or whatever, let's say I got in the trade and I went 100 pips down, and right at 100, I popped, right? And I popped with another 250, right? So I would be down off the original trade $250. Then on the second trade, I would have been down $125, right? So altogether, I would have only been down on that trade $375 on that trade. Again, am I anywhere close to this? Right? Nowhere close to it. That is the strategy to really passing the challenge, right? Because you can use whatever else you want to trade, whatever you want to do, like whatever you want to use, break and retest, whatever, smart money, you want to use teacup strategy, you want to use whatever. If you manage your risk properly, it's not even going to matter. It's not even going to matter at all. Because if you're managing your risk, right, let's say you don't get close to the 10K profit, right? The profit target, right? But you'll never violate the max daily or the max limit loss, right? You can retake the challenge again for free. Because if you're doing that and you're in profit at the end of the 30 days, you can keep taking the challenge until you pass it, as long as you didn't violate these two rules and you met the 10-day minimum trading requirement. So that's another requirement. You gotta trade 10 days at least.
When
And
should you start? Means, I opened that 15 days ago, but I didn't started that. So is that time limit?
the trial,
Yeah.
yes, the trial is you got a 5-day minimum, I think. And in the 5-day minimum, I think is you have to do 5,000 within a 5-day minimum up to 14 days. In the live, you have a 10-day minimum up to 30 days. And as long as you don't violate these rules, you can keep doing the challenge. So the most important thing is not to violate this and to be profitable at the end of the 30 days. It took me a couple times to pass it, where I just made sure, like, I remember one time when I took it, one of the times I took it, I was close to my max daily, right? And I had got so close to the max daily, I was just like, you know what? I don't want to trade no more on this account. I was in profit, like, I think like $2,000. And then I was like, I'm just going to wait, let this run out. I had already met the 10-day minimum requirement. So I just left it alone until the next, and then I took it again and then I passed it. So that way I wouldn't have to worry about, I wouldn't have to worry about this number, but this is the better approach, right? And there's a couple of other people recommend a 5 instead of doing 2.25, 2.5. Some people recommend a 5 if we trade in SPX, and it would look pretty much the same, except for 100 pips would mean that 100 pips of drawdown means that you're $500 down. It don't sound like much, right? But again, if you're stacking it, right, same trade, you know, you go another $500 down, right? And you stacked it, right? Now you down $1,000 already, right? And again, you looking at this number right here. So that's kind of why I recommend this format, because you can just piece it in, right? You can just piece it in. And then, you know, if you get or see something that you really like, you know, you can throw this 10 lot on, and you know, if you see it and it's good and you know it, and you liking the way it's setting up, then of course, you know, you can add on to that, you know, maybe throw a 5 or maybe throw a 10. But other than that, you know, typically I'm not using a 10 unless I'm using a really, 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 really tight stop loss. So that way, you know, I don't have to worry about like losing big on that trade. Like, let's say, you know, I got into this sell right here, right around this area right here. Maybe right here would be my stop loss. At most, I'm only losing $480 on a 10. And if it came back up to this area, right? So at most I would lose 10. If I got in a trade right here and it pushed up to here, I would be looking at $480 in losses on that trade if I used a 10. But if I'm getting in right here and it starts to pull back, I'm not taking this $1,500. Like this 16 pips on a 10 is $1,640. I'm not taking that kind of loss on a 10. I'm gonna be a lot more sure if I'm gonna take that 10. I need to be a lot more sure that I'm comfortable with this trade, which you know, is how I would approach it. So hope that answers your question, Brian.
Yes, it answered my question through the following later. Thank you, Cory.
Okay. Yeah. If it was I think you asked about 100K and a 200K. If I was doing the 200K, I would use a 5. I would use a 5.
Oh my God, this was so helpful because oversight, you know, I always put more than the lot size that I'm supposed to do, I guess.
Yeah.
This was helpful. Thank you.
For the 200K, everything I said would be the same, except for this would be the difference. The max daily is 10. The max limit is 20. The profit target is 20. On the 100K, I would break it in 4s, and that would give you 2.5 each lot. On the 200K, I would break it in 4s, right? So I'm referring to if I use the 10 lot. If I was using a 200K, you would be using a 20 lot. 20 lot in the 4s is the 5 lots, right? So that's how I would approach that. That's how I would approach it.
Do you use the hour or do you use the, like, because you know what I do, right? But you go back down to the hour and then you mark it up. You said that that area at the top would be your stop loss, right?
I was just using that as an example.
That's what I'm saying. But where would your, what would you base that off of?
I don't know because I was just using that as
Okay. I'm
I
with
was just
you.
using that fictitiously.
My bad.
Yeah. I wasn't saying in particular, but like just let's use we took this sale yesterday, right? Over here. And we got it from like 72, right? Now, in this case, I might have used the standard on this, right? Because look at what I would have been saying, as long as it doesn't break this high, I'm okay. And it never did, right? So I might have put a standard in somewhere. I didn't yesterday, but just this is an example. I'm trading so close to where I think the stop loss should be if we took a sale that I'm okay with adding on a bigger lot size, right? But initially I'm going to drop the 2.5 right here. And then if I had to drop the 2.5 right here, this would have gave me because we used the daily as the take profit, and the daily was right around here. So this would have gave me roughly about 500 and some change, like around $600 in profit if I just had to use the 1.25. But you know, on the low, I did add on to it. I didn't tell y'all because I didn't like it at first, but I did add on to it. So I ended up doing more than that. So yeah. And if you stayed into it, you were able to get all the way down here.
So into that trade, Cory. Let's be honest, right? Because that trade take you out, right? So you're taking profit at one of those rejections down there, at least, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're
especially if I got a big boy. If I got a big boy in, my money is my money.
Right. So my question is, because I kind of get hung up when I'm looking for the home run instead of get the first or second base sometimes. So you taking out how much at that point? I thought I said 2.4 or something like that. So you're taking out how much right there?
It depends on what I got in. If I got in just a 0.25 right here on this, I probably would have just closed it, you know. If I had a standard, right? Now, if I had a standard in, like I am comfortable with saying I can take 200 pips off of a standard.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I might close the whole thing. Or what I'll do is I'll close half of it.
Leave a piece.
And leave a piece. Or close out, or I might close an 8, you know, and just leave a little piece in there, right?
And you'll move your stop loss to those rejections?
And I'll move my stop loss either to break even or, you know, somewhere along here.
Okay.
And if it take me out, it just take me out. You know, I can't control everything. Like this candle right here, this was a FU candle right here, right? I should have been able to walk away and leave my trade from right here at break even and not have to worry about it. But this one said FU and it came back up for no reason and then dropped anyway. Just like over here, right? This
so
swing.
Cory, can I stop you right there, please? So when it stops you out, do you enter right away? Because that happens to me a lot. Like when I put it on break even or a little bit of profits, I got stopped out and I don't know how to get in again.
If it stops me out right here and I still like the setup, I'll just enter it from wherever it is. But if it stops me out and I just enter it, I'm not gonna use the big boy. I'm gonna piece it in, because if it's back up here, it's for a reason, right? It could want to take this out, right? It could have wanted to take this out, especially coming up to as high as it did, right?
Mhm.
So, and I know some people who stayed in this trade, right,
Mhm.
and took the whole drop, right? I didn't, I couldn't, right? But you know, it never broke and closed above it, so that gave you the room to stay in the trade. But you know, this really shouldn't have been. You know, this was the way that happened, right? It just wicked us out for no reason, right?
Hey,
Second time you just lower your lot size.
Just lower my
Because
lot
we're not
size.
sure. Okay.
can I ask a question based upon what I don't know her name, but I don't recognize her voice. Based
But
upon what, say it
So
again. So what? All right, cool. Can you go to the 15-minute, please? I know but the same question she just asked, I have a problem. If you go back a little bit further, right there, right exactly right there, right?
yeah. Hold
I
on.
marked it up.
Hold on. Okay.
So I'm one more over where that rejection is. You know how I get in. I get in off the rejection.
Right here.
So bingo. I went up, I bought. I was fine with that. All right. It came all the way back down to the low again. Okay.
Right here.
So from
Just
right
give me
there,
the entry.
huh?
Give me the entry.
Let me annotate.
Yep.
Where is it? Can I annotate?
Yeah, you can. You just gotta go up to your Zoom.
Right, I'm gonna put arrows in. So you know, this is what I was looking for a couple nights ago. This is my entry on the blue candle, right? I take the 50% of the red, and I'm coming in hot, right? Because I already know I see this, and I'm like, went a little lower than that. All right, cool. Let me get 50% of this red candle. Boom, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is my exit.
Mm-hmm.
And this is on the 15th, right?
Mm-hmm.
It comes back down. I'm like, okay. So I'm already out. I'm already out here. I'm not taking the sell. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not taking the sell, right? Cool. I see this. Mouse starts salivating. Cool. I'm getting in again. All right. It does not go all the way up. This is like TP1 or 2. If you put the fibs on there, like right here is probably like, and this the you know kind of fibs I'm using.
If you're measuring from
so I'm resetting from this is my new low, and this is my new low, and this is my new high.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm resetting. I'm not using the overall anymore. I'm using a smaller because I'm on a 15, but I have the bigger perspective in mind.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still looking for the home run, but I'm still playing base to base. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So this right here actually is just kind of garbage to me. But when it gets to this high and it comes back down here, I'm salivating again because I know it can't go high. It's not going higher than this.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, all right, it's rejecting. Is there an order block? Is there some kind of something going on in the past that's happening? And I'm trying to read it from there.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So today, and you see there's a gap. Today, I'm like, that's a no-brainer for me to buy up from here.
Mm-hmm.
It's a no-brainer. Give me that 50% and boom, I'm in there. And then it came back again and touched my area.
Yeah.
And I was already in.
Yeah, like I said, I shouldn't have been trading today because I want to say Khalil asked me about this.
Yes. Someone did ask you about
Khalil. When he asked me about this, I should have known at that point that we were switching.
And
But
Yeah, I wanted to make sure also because at that time I wrote that message to you. Are you looking for buy or sell? So
yeah,
I wanted to take buy.
and
so
You were not.
this was one of them situations where uh like it gave you two different things, right?
yeah,
It gave you this rebalance redelivery, but before that, right, it gave you this one, right? That actually failed, right? So this it traded through this, came back up, tried to come back down off of this. So you had two opposing directions right here. And this candle right here pulled this out of that direction. And that should have been a trade right there. Even after that, I was talking about the fair value gap, right? And I didn't account for this happening, right? So the gap was here to here, right? And then you take 50 of that, right here. If you take this right here, this setup just right here, this one candle traded through the whole gap and filled it. And then price really just never held below this area. It never went below this. It only wicked. That was the last, that's the other time we should have got in right there. So like I said, I shouldn't have been trading today. And I'm sorry that I took that loss for y'all. But I as soon as I got off the session, after I went to the bathroom again, I went and analyzed this, and I saw everything that went wrong on that trade. And
but
then
that's not what I'm coming for. I'm coming for the thought process, right?
yeah,
Because I see damn near darn near a triple bottom,
yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So and in incorporating how to pass an FTMO or a prop challenge, right? I don't go by bigger. I look at the bigger time frames, but I'm scrutinizing the 15s because these are my entries. And you can pass the FTMO based upon entries alone if you really do it right with the lot sizes. Does it make sense? Because that where the box is, right? Yeah. Because you don't need that much. You get a good entry. You get a good entry here and a good exit here. That's pretty good amount of pips for a day.
Yep.
See what I'm saying? Or right here to there. That's a good based upon like what you like to do. Because you know, what I mean, I used to just sell everything. But I used to miss the bigger moves and I hated that. So how many pips is that?
300.
Yeah, right there. Boom, one day.
Yep.
And then it ranged in this area for a couple of days. So all you had to do is just keep on because right from here to here, that's a big size of stake. From right here to right there is another big size of stake. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. So what the lady just asked is my question right now, because and I have to like think about it. I have to take the bias out. I see a flag. So I see potential to come back down to 4340 area somewhere because I want it. I'm gonna change my language, my vocabulary. I don't want it to, but I'm anticipating a rejection in this area right here. So it's like, what's next? You see what I'm saying? Because I don't sell anymore. The old me would be looking for this. I can't do it.
So as far as what I see, the next big thing to stand out right now is right above you, right here.
What is
And
that? 90?
that's the weekly at 90.
Okay.
Yeah. And we've already made our high for the week and we made our low for the week. We haven't retested the weekly. And usually it usually happens. I can go back and show you. This happens every single week.
Yeah.
Right? At some point, whether or not, you know, unless we just got a bunch of positive news or negative news, we always come back and retest the weekly. So with that being said, we should at least come back to this area, right? Now, once we get to here, the question will be whether we turn positive or whether we turn negative, or whether we turn positive or whether we stay negative. Because right now, for the week, we're negative. We're negative by 0.4%, 0.46% for the week. And we've been as low as 1.43% negative on the week, right? And knowing that we've already climbed back the majority of this, right? We got to come back to the weekly. Now, if we turn positive for the week, we should get a break and retest set up right around this weekly, right? If they want to keep the price negative for the week, we'll have a rejection around this area, give or take 20 pips or so. There is a fair value gap that's right around the weekly. It's right here. That's one area potentially we might want to look out for. That's right here, which encompasses the weekly. So like anywhere in here, we can see it reject, right? If it wants to reject, or it's going to break anywhere in here. And then above this, we probably go to 4 hour. We got an order block right here. So it's reasons to believe this would reject right here, but that means that they want to keep price negative for the week. They want to keep, if they want to flip it to a positive week, which that's when we have to look at fundamentals and be like, what could turn this to positive, right? So from Thursday to Friday, we got PPI, FOMC speaking from, I don't know who that member Barkin speaks. I don't know who that is. Then we got core retail sales, manufacturing numbers, preliminary consumer sentiment. Consumer sentiment could weigh in and turn us positive, but that's where we're going to have to be like, okay, what at this point, what could turn the week positive? Are any of these going to be strong enough to push us through this weekly price? If not, I'm going to probably look to sell right there. And if I'm looking to sell right here, my main target is, guess who this is right here? Order block. To come back to here. That's the last down candle right there. And if not, we'll look at this as the order block right here. Oh, no problem, Keisha. Look at that as the order block. One of these. And we'll get the move from there. So that's like looking forward, you know, giving projections. And then you can also consider, all right, we had give you all the circumstances, right? We had this down move to this down move. Throw the other template on. look who is here, 70% right here. If we want to look at it, just this part right here to here, where we're just looking at the body right here, we still around 88%. I'll still sell from there as long as we don't break above the 100. If we just looking at the meat. But I like to look at the whole move, right? So we can do wick to wick. And even if we go to the 1 hour, yep, that line up pretty good. The 1 hour. And that means that a rejection around here would confirm that we stuck between this high and this low, and we just gonna range until we break out of one of those sides. So yeah. That'll confirm like we in a really large accumulation distribution that goes into Wyckoff and all that good stuff. So yeah. So I think I answered everything.
Cory, can I ask one more question, please?
Yeah.
You know, when you split your screen on TradingView, I messed it up. How do you have them at the same, you know, one of them shows me different setup and the other one, you know, two different setups.
You talking about like this?
Like when you have 4 screens or 2, 3 or whatever. Like when you have SPX and then you have her, yeah, like that.
Over here, there's this layout option right here.
Uh-huh.
And you can just select the type that you want to use. And
yeah,
then,
I do that. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And then once you select it, you need to make sure this little link is selected. So like if you're going to be using it like this, where in this case, I got too much running. Close and stuff.
I think that might have been what I was missing, connecting that link, because I was trying to do market replay and with different size charts, and just wasn't working for me. Maybe it was that link.
Is Cory still there?
No, I think it just showed him that he left.
It said he
probably
isn't.
went down.
Yeah, give him a second. Give him a second.
I'm sure he'll log back in.
Yeah. There it is.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, my computer just froze. I got way too much stuff open. But anyway, yeah, you'll just take select the window that you want, the layout that you want to use, and then once you select the layout, you can just drop in whichever pairs you want and then make sure it's linked. If you want to do the same pair and you want to make sure it's getting the same thing, you need to hit that little link icon, because if you don't, anything you put on there won't be on the other chart. It'll just be on one of them.
Okay, that's you. Thank you so much. I'll try that. Thank you.
No problem. And then Rob, you were asking about that 12-3. So you want to make sure that you account for the highs and the lows within that time frame, the highs and intermediate lows. And as you get those highs or intermediate lows, you want to make sure that you're going to be paying attention to where the liquidity is. The liquidity within that time frame, my whole computer just shut off. The liquidity in that time frame is going to give you there's going to be a high and a low within that time frame that is going to either be taken out or is going to be left behind for a later time to come and be used. So you want to always know, starting from midnight into that 3 o'clock hour, where are your highs and where are your lows. Press any key. Oh, wait a few seconds. Okay. All right. My whole computer just jacked all the way up. My bad. And
so that's why I'm seeing this white screen.
Yeah, I don't know what you're seeing right now. Once you have those highs and those lows, pay attention to where it sweeps price. If it sweeps the high, pay attention to notice, right? If it's going to sweep the high, does it actually break and close above that or continue? If it doesn't continue, that means they will just stop hunting within that time frame. If it sweep the low, pay attention to see, does it continue to go lower, or does it just sweep the low and run back up? If it does either one of those, you can be looking for a setup based off of that high or based off of that low within that throughout the rest of the day.
Cory, I can't see your screen.
So you're basically, you're just kind of you're using those, but you're also just basically understanding the candlesticks and what it's doing, right?
Yeah.
But are you ever like, are you ever just selling off of that high in that time frame?
You can.
And do you do that much, or is it?
I used to when I traded London a lot. I don't trade it a lot. I was trying to teach you guys this because there were people who were saying that they couldn't get on the New York session. So I wanted to try to give the guys who couldn't get on that something to look for during like times when they could trade. So that was why I was trying to show everybody this.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know it, but I did a lot of back testing, and I think it's pretty valuable to like, because like what you're saying about like the liquidity and stuff like that, where it's going there like throughout the day, like throughout the London session, and then going into I find like sometimes it'll go like maybe a bit, and then it'll come back for the retest in the morning, like, so that's pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm. And like if you guys like like I know Treese and Chin was, just using them as an example, like, they work throughout the day. So sometimes they can't get on the pre-New York call. And then this move between 12 and 3 will kind of get you into the move for the rest of the day sometimes, depending on how it play out. So most of and it's based off of the fact that at 12 a.m., it really starts the New York day. That's when they start a lot of the algorithms that they run price off of start at midnight. And you have price continuing to run because liquidity comes into the market during London. That's the simplest way to put it.
All right, cool. Thanks, man.
No problem.
Hey, Hey, Cory, one quick question. Is there any way to get the 3 charts to work together with market replay?
With the
Like if I want to change, put one on 1 hour, 15 and 5, and have, well, I know 5 you can't go back so far. So I'm really only talking about replaying, that particular day. Can you link them where they work in replay?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I've been trying. I couldn't.
Pretty sure. I'm more than 100% sure you can't do it. No, you can't. No, you can only replay one at a time.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
I was gonna drop this. I was gonna like go over some of the charts that you guys dropped, but my computer is restarting itself at the moment, so we'll have to probably maybe do it. I'll probably do it again and go over it again next week, and that's what we'll do. So that's cool.
Oh my gosh! So there's no way to share the live, is it?
At some of it recorded, some of this recorded. I don't know at what point it stopped, but I will go into YouTube and see if I can pull it up.
You want me to read you your brains? Okay.
There we go.
And Cory, if you can please give us like a day where you can do the MT4 copier walkthrough.
Yeah, I'll do that. I just need you guys to like, I don't want to just do it for one person, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I asked you now so everybody can know about it now, whoever in the call.
And once they do it, I'll definitely, go on and do it with you guys. But I just don't want to be just me and one other person that's got it,
Oh yeah, I definitely want to do it. So where do we sign up somewhere to let you know?
You'll just have to you can just go to that link I sent you guys, LTC Trade Copier.
Yeah.
I don't. Can you say it again? Because I got in on late today, so I don't see it in the chat.
Let me find it.
Or maybe somebody else have it. They can send it.
Yeah, I'll drop it.
I can share.
Cool, appreciate it.
Wale, make sure you on this call, bro.
Okay, don't try to play me.
Huh?
Don't try to play me.
I did. I didn't try. I played you. I didn't
Hey,
try.
listen. It's been working well. It's just getting a little bit hectic,
I know that. I know. But I didn't try to play you. I absolutely played you. Make sure that you get this.
Yo, if it's working, it's working. Come on, man. But efficiency is the key right now.
Okay. Okay. You're right. You are right. But that's the same thing they said about bicycles that were made out of wood. That's also the same thing they said about light bulbs and gasoline vehicles. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. It works, yeah, but I could drive a more efficient car that doesn't pollute the earth. Wouldn't you rather do that?
Thank you, Cory. Appreciate it.
Would you, we don't need shoes. We got feet, right? That's the same thing, right? We don't need shoes. We could just tie leaves around our feet, right? But somebody said, I don't want to wear leaves anymore. I want to put shoes on.
How you feeling today, Cory? You all right?
No, I'm not, man.
You okay?
Hey, excuse me. Well, thank you for sending the link, people. And of course, so with the link, what do we need to do to let you know? Or just, I got the link. So what do you say, do?
Once you get the link, I gave you the straight directly to the pricing page, and you can sign up and get billed monthly or annually. Then it's going to take you to the download site, and from the download site, you can just download. You're gonna get a download link, and then you're gonna get a license. At that point, just download it, copy the license, and stop.
Okay.
Don't do nothing else until we talk.
Okay. One other quick question. Anybody may have the answer if you can't pull it up. Then you record how to put that pip counter on your MT4. Did you make a session for that?
I didn't, but I dropped everything in the Kim Discord.
Okay, cool. Got it. Thank you.
But it's easy. It's easy. I can do that. I'll do a video on that and just drop it in the how-to section. I mean, in our Discord.
Okay.
Cory, question about the copier. Can we have once we download it in one laptop, can you use it in other? Do they give you a login, or how does that work?
Yeah, you can only use it on one laptop at a time as the master. Now, the clients, you can put them anywhere. If you have different clients, you can use those anywhere, but it's the master account that you have to have on one computer.
So meaning they give you other clients? They give you other clients. If you want to use it somewhere else, you just use the client.
You install the client information onto there, and then you can use it from it.
All right, so we'll go through this on the video, right? When you show us. Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Thank you so much, Cory, for today.
No problem.
You were sick and still showed up for this session. Thank you. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it,
No problem, brother.
Appreciate it.
Cory, you're the best. Thank you.
Sometimes. Thank you. All right. You guys have a good one.
Go get some ginger tea or some Malanta.
Oh, I just want to go to sleep at this point.
Applesauce, apple juice, something.
I just want to go to sleep, bro.
No, apple juice will mess your stomach up more.
No, it's diuretic. Get it out. Get it out. Do the rice theory.
Shoot. I just want some ginger beer or something.
Bread pudding. No. This is war, ma'am. This is war. This is war.
Just get some rest. I think you'll be fine.
War. Make sure you